Okay, a very good morning again, and welcome back to part 2, where we will be analyzing the technical charts. So we are starting off again with the US dollar index. Again, this index shows us whether the US dollar was weakening, strengthening, weakening, or strengthening. Okay, so this is on the H1 chart, and as we can see, the US dollar has been bearish for a number of days ever since 26th of May. And when we look at the H4 chart, it will also show that the US dollar was having a strong resistance at about 100.50 levels back on the 18th of May. Okay, ever since then, we can see the US dollar has been on a bearish tone. And finally, on the D1 charts, again, we see the same description of the charts. Okay, again, we have a strong resistance at 100.50 levels, and of course a previous support at 98.78. So of course this critical support has been breached due to several reasons. It could be due to the fact that the US economy could be still a bit shaky ever since the COVID-19 pandemic. And most recently, the US economy is having a lot of political unrest in terms of the George Floyd murder case. I wouldn't consider it a murder. I mean, yeah, it's pretty sensitive, so I'll just call it the George Floyd case. Okay, so ever since the George Floyd case has sparked a lot of riots and instability in the US economy. Okay, so we see the US dollar continuing to weaken. It has come down pretty much. It has come down a lot, and in the short term, it should be finding some consolidation first, possibly tonight's non-farm ADP news, and also this Friday's actual non-farm payrolls may look to lend some support towards the US dollar. Okay, but nevertheless, we are always analyzing on the micro cycle using the H1 charts to understand where the US dollar, in terms of the smaller movement cycles, where it will be going. Okay, so currently it is trying to find some support at about 97.38 levels. For yesterday, we can see that the US dollar continues to weaken at about the time here 1100, which is if you're in Singapore or Malaysia, you will need to add 5 hours to this. Will be 11 plus 5 is 1600 hours, which is at 4 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. The US dollar continues to weaken. Okay, so as the US dollar weakened at 4 p.m., we can see that over here, yeah, this is the one, the UK pound strengthened against the US dollar. Okay, but even before 4 p.m., you can see as early as 1 p.m. Okay, the UK pound was finding some support at these levels. Okay, towards early yesterday morning, the UK pound opened up at positive sentiment, bullish sentiment, as early as 3:00. You can see the time below. 3 plus 5 is 8 a.m. The UK pound moved up from 1.2486. Okay, and it moved all the way to a high of about 1.2527. Okay, going up about 40 pips in the morning session. Then of course it came down, found some support again at 1.2480 levels, and towards 1 p.m. it started to become bullish again. Okay, and at 4 p.m. It pushed up again, and it went up about 88 pips to a high of 1.2572. Okay, then onwards, the UK pound went quiet for quite a number of hours, and as of this morning, the UK pound again is bullish. Okay, so this morning's cycle, this morning's movement was from about 7 a.m. this morning. 2 plus 5, 7 a.m. The UK pound moved up from 1.2547 to a high of 1.2610. Okay, so this morning it has moved up about 62 pips, and currently it's gone quiet. We're gonna have a look at the H4 again. As you can see on the H4, it's been bullish for quite a number of days, and on the D1, is also touching back this previous high. So be very careful if you are looking to buy again, because again it has gone up quite a lot and could be due for a retracement. Okay, pretty similar story for the euro dollar. For the euro dollar, we can also see that yesterday, as the US dollar was weakening at about 4 p.m. local Singapore time, the the euro dollar was also strengthening. Okay, to be on the dot, it will be at this candle 1100. Again, it's +5. It's about 16, which is about 4 p.m. again. As the US dollar weakened, we can see the euro dollar strengthening from 1.1127. The reading is here on the right, 1.1127 all the way to a high of 1.1194. Okay, so it moved out about 67 pips. And as of this morning, again, the euro dollar is also on a bullish sentiment. So when we look at the H4 or D1 charts, we can also see that the euro dollar has been on a very strong bullish run. Okay, so yeah, so to determine whether it's going to go up further or not, it depends on certain events and news that may be happening towards the afternoon today or even towards the evening tonight. Okay, and moving on to gold prices. Gold prices found pretty, I wouldn't say a very strong resistance, but found some resistance towards 1,744 levels over the last 2 days on 1st of June and also on 2nd of June, which was yesterday. And at about, this is the one at about 1700. This one is at 1700 plus 5 is 2200 hours. At about 10 p.m. yesterday, the gold prices moved down from 1,744 all the way down to 1,721. Okay, so during the evening session, Singapore time, about 10 p.m., gold prices moved down about 22 US dollars. Okay, and this morning it is still relatively slightly bearish, and currently is trying to find some support or consolidating, okay, before deciding whether to move down or to move up later. Okay, so again, when you look at the H4 charts, it also shows a resistance here, and also the gold prices was on a bullish run for the last 4 days or so, ever since last Wednesday. Okay, so move on to oil prices. Again, oil prices are still very much on a bullish sentiment. Two things to be aware of: it has been bullish for quite some time, ever since the 21st of April, and ever since the price was at $9.78. Okay, so currently it has gone up all the way. If you're looking at the H4 charts or even the D1 charts, it has been on a strong bullish run. Okay, so fundamentally the reasons are most economies around the world are starting to open up, and demand for energy such as and also demand for oil has been picking up. Okay, if the bullish momentum continues, it would probably close this gap over here at about $41.47, or even maybe higher, and even of course close and go up a little bit higher. Okay, but that is still about $4 to $5 US dollars away. So we still need to analyze the smaller cycles to determine whether the smaller cycles are building up towards the higher price. Okay, so again, it has been very bullish, the gold prices, the oil prices. Okay, so from having a resistance yesterday and the last 2 days, it broke up at about 1100, at also again at 4 p.m. yesterday, and has been on a bullish run ever since then. Okay, until this morning, going up about $2.07. Okay, so S&P 500 again is still on a bullish sentiment, still well supported and moving up, and looks like it's broken through the resistance of 3059 and could still be on the way up. Okay, so that's why it's very important to understand partly fundamentals and partly technical. Fundamentals to understand what is pushing up the prices in the middle to long term, and technical to try and catch the micro cycles, and also to, if you're going into the market, to find an entry price which is relatively safe, and to minimize your risk and also to maximize your returns. Okay, so USD CAD is still very much strong. Okay, in other words, the Canadian dollar is still strong against the US dollar. Okay, I guess over the last 2 weeks or so, the main trend or main direction is that the US dollar is weak. That's why you see most of the major currencies around the world, from the euro dollar to the UK pound to the Japanese yen to the Canadian dollar, or even to the Australian dollar, all of them are strengthening, okay, against the US dollar. So even for the Aussie dollar, from the from the 18th of May all the way until now, it has strengthened against the US dollar by about 570 pips. Okay, so depending on your style of trading, if you're more towards middle to long term trader, then of course this kind of major trends will be very clear and very nice for you to trade. If you're an intra trader, then of course you will need to look at the H1 charts, where you'll be analyzing the smaller cycles. For example, again, this one. Okay, this one is also at 1100, which is 4 p.m. yesterday. The Australian dollar strengthened against the US dollar. Okay, going up about 91 pips. So you gotta understand the markets, understand the behavior of it, and try to cater. I'll find out what is your style of trading, and then depending on your style of trading, and also how the market moves and behaves, that is where you find out what is your strength, and that is how you find out your trading style. Okay, so I hope you guys have a good understanding of the latest market news, and also the latest sentiments on the chart patterns, and I hope you guys have a good trading day ahead. Rest assured, I believe today definitely there will be good chart patterns and good opportunities for trading, both on currencies and also on commodities. So have a good day ahead. I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you.